How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome to the first ever Let's Play here on T plus A TV. That's right, folks. I sat down and I really thought to myself, okay, this is the beginning of a brand new era of YouTube. What video game am I going to start playing for this channel? I had a lot of different ideas, a lot of different things I wanted to do. And what better way to kick off Let's Plays for this channel than with the most manly, hardcore game that I have in my library? Ladies and gentlemen, the very first game we are playing for this channel is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. One of my personal favorite video games of all time. When I was a little kid, I was a massive SpongeBob SquarePants fan. I love this show. Its original first 3 seasons are some of the most funny things I've ever seen on TV. A lot of hidden adult jokes in there that a lot of people probably wouldn't even really realize. And honestly, it was just a really, really great, well-written show. And I had this game for the Nintendo GameCube. And my brother can vouch for me on this. This was like my go-to Nintendo 64 game. I loved Battle for Bikini Bottom so much. So when I found out that we were finally getting an HD remake of this game, I was hyped. I had my copy pre-order day one, and actually this would be the game that would make me want to get Nintendo Switch. The original Nintendo Switch, because being able to play something like this on the go, or even as I'm laying down on the couch or in bed, was an amazing concept for me. So I was so hyped with this game. And I know a lot of people have some criticisms with this game because of the fact that, yes, sometimes the graphics take a little bit to render. It doesn't bother my experience. I still have an amazing time with this game. I think it's a truly amazing game. I think if you're trying to get into the platformer collectathon type games, this is the game that you should start with. But then again, I would almost argue for Mario Odyssey, because that's also an easy platformer to kind of get into, but I think for your first go-around, Battle for Bikini Bottom is not a bad way to start. So this is how we're going to start this adventure. I'm going in. Just going to be me. This is a Tim Let's Play. Anna's off in the side. Maybe we'll get a Pua cameo. I have no idea. That just depends on the pig. Oh, would you look at that? We got a Pua cameo. Pua, how you doing? Are you excited for Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated? Do you know anything about SpongeBob? This is going to be a great adventure. Okay, I'm going to stop talking because we are 5 minutes into this video. We got to start playing, so let's get started. Go ahead and start slot. Alright, let's get into our plot, shall we?
Welcome to Bikini Bottom, a normally peaceful undersea sanctuary. Today it will be transformed into a theater of pure horror, wherein our little yellow friend will play the starring role.
Today is the big day. I have devised an ingenious plan to finally steal the Krabby Patty formula. And if Bikini Bottom happens to get demolished in the process, oh well. With my brand new Duplicatotron 3000, I'll clone an army of robots that will wreak mayhem and destruction at my command. One last review of the checklist. Let's see. Item number 1, is Plankton a genius? Answer yes. Okay, checklist complete. Throw in the switch. Welcome, my perfectly obedient robot army. Hang on. I want to get a photo for my scrapbook. Hey, hello? What do you think you're doing? Oh, no, wait,
another perfect day playing robots and racehorses.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day
Racehorses and the
when I
robots
was young.
mixed up.
Wouldn't it be
Handsome.
great if we had real robots to play with, Patrick? I'd name mine Robo Jr.
But also, I just
or
remember all the good
Zoran,
times
or
playing
maybe Frankie.
SpongeBob games, but also just watching the show.
Unreal robots are getting
So as you could probably guess, folks, here's our plot of the game. Plankton has made an army of robots that were originally supposed to be under his command. But the idiot set the obedience switch to not obey,
Patrick,
so now the robots are gonna be running amok. And what are SpongeBob and Patrick gonna do? Well, with the magic wishing shell, they're gonna wish for real robots to play with.
And in the morning, we'll have real robots to play with.
but
5
Patrick,
points exactly.
aren't we going to say the magic wishing words?
You already did.
So, okay is the magic wishing word?
It used to be Alakazama Alabala Wisna Tikitana Fushbar Griddle Bits von Wiederschnauzer, but I kept forgetting it.
Are you sure this'll work?
Sure.
Video game mechanics, yes,
Last
this is
week, I only had
absolutely
one
going to
big
work.
Cookie crumb and I was really hungry, so I put my cookie crumb in the magic wishing shell. Then I said the magic wishing word and shook it, and in the morning I had lots of little cookie crumbs.
Patrick, I proclaim that tomorrow is going to be the best day ever.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Good night, Patrick.
The next morning.
Gonna play with robots, gonna play with robots, gonna play with robots, gonna play with. Whoa! Gary, did you do that?
What a great intro.
Yeah, Gary. It sure looks like we're in a doozy of a pickle. I think I'm gonna have to learn a lot in order to fix this mess. What a fantastic idea! These signs will provide important tips to help me out. How do I read the signs? Oh, okay. Press this button to read the signs. So if I want to come back and talk to you again, just walk up to you and press this button. I'd better get started now, Gary. I think that this is going to be a very long day.
Alright. Okay, so pretty much as I've said before, folks, this is a 3D platformer collectathon. Just gotta get...
Give me some
This is a 3D platformer collectathon, where essentially our main MacGuffins are going to be golden spatulas, where if you played any Mario game in the past, you collect power stars, things like that. But in SpongeBob's case, we are collecting golden spatulas. Now, the first thing that we got to do is we got to explore SpongeBob's house, because as you guys can see, we got to get at least one golden spatula to get out of here. Ooh, TV.
Breaking news! Bikini Bottom residents have been attacked by a raging torrent of robot horror.
So much for fixing this quietly.
Authorities are not sure who is responsible for unleashing the mechanical menaces, but they have assured us that the person is in big, big trouble.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Did I say big trouble? I meant so enormous that it's hard to comprehend trouble. We'll keep you posted as this tragic story unfolds. Tragically, we're sure.
Alright, so, simple mechanics here. X button to jump, square button to attack, triangle button, headbutt, and then eventually later on in the game, SpongeBob will learn, he'll learn some more power-ups that we will see later on.
I make myself a snack, but there's no time!
Pretty much.
A note from Mr. Krabs! And it even smells sweaty, just like him.
Ahoy there, SpongeBob! As a faithful crew member of the Krusty Krab, you've been, promoted to head shiny object collector.
Wow! A promotion!
That's right, a promotion. So what this here new job entails is you collecting all these shiny objects that the robots are leaving behind and bringing them to me. Now stop seahorsing around and get busy collecting.
Okay, so I do want to address the elephant in the room. that no, that is not Clancy Brown voicing Mr. Krabs, which, when this game was officially announced that it was getting the remake treatment, a lot of people thought that they would fix that with Clancy Brown and get Clancy Brown, the voice actor for Mr. Krabs, in the game. But no, for Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, this was essentially just a reskin HD update. They didn't really go and fix much of the mechanic-wise, more so just update it with HD graphics, so on and so forth. So Mr. Krabs, I think Mermaid, no, wait, yeah, Mermaid Man were the only two voice actors that they could not get for this game. And as you probably overheard from SpongeBob, is that one of our little currency things in this game are the shiny objects that you can see over here. These are going to be very, very essential to the game, because we're going to need to collect a certain number of these shiny objects in order to progress stuff through story, but also to unlock things. So it's very important that if you see them, collect them. Also, you're probably wondering about the underwear. This is a pair of SpongeBob's underwear. SpongeBob will lose a pair of underwear every time he gets hit by a robot or touches dangerous objects or surfaces. Like this. Once SpongeBob has lost all of his underwear, he must start that area back over again. So, pretty much, don't get hit and don't lose your underwear, because you're going to need that.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
Alright, let's continue on. Let's explore the rest of this place.
I love opening presents. This is where I keep all my old comic books.
Alright, so over here we have some of the objects, breakable objects that we can interact with in this game, and these are the tiki boxes. Smash them, because if you smash them, you will get shiny objects. And again, these are going to be very key to beat the game. So make sure that you are just smashing as many as you can.
This is where I keep all my old comic books.
Yes, I know. You've said that plenty of times.
Sometimes pushing a simple button is the most satisfying. Push, 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 push.
Okay. Headbutt. Ooh. Alright, we gotta get that sock. Socks are another collectible that you can get in this game. Those are actually Patrick's socks, and if you collect...
We'll be glad to have this back.
If you collect a certain number of Patrick's socks, he will give you a golden spatula. Which, again, those will really come in handy. I am not sure how many golden spatulas we need to beat the game. I think it honestly might be around the same as, like, Mario 64, where I think you need at least, like, 70-something golden spatulas in order to beat the game. Alright, now that we have a lot of shiny objects, we can open this closet door. Oh, would you look at that, guys. One golden spatula. B-E-A, beautiful. Okay, one thing I should stress right away. For this playthrough, I am not 100%ing this game. I'm not a masochist. But also, there's really not a need to 100%. Sorry, I got an update from Pua. Pua, you got an update for me? Okay, so Pua has confirmed that we are going to need at least 75 golden spatulas to beat this game. Is that right? Okay, thank you, Pua. Good pick. 75 golden spatulas in order to beat this game. That is basically what we are aiming for. I am not 100%ing this game. I have never 100%ed this game. And there's really no extra bonuses for doing so. So I'm okay with just doing the bare minimum. Alright. Let's get out of SpongeBob's house and let's continue on with this adventure.
nothing like the sounds of your own neighborhood.
Go away, SpongeBob. You're polluting my thinking space.
Trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula again, eh, Plankton? Well, you won't get away with it.
I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got to figure out how to regain control of the chum bucket from those robots.
Where did they come from?
Where? I don't know. Not for me, though, that's for sure. They just showed up out of nowhere and started calling me rude names and throwing things. They even bent all my spoons. I love those spoons like they were my children.
That's terrible.
Oh, won't you help me stop them? Before they bend all my forks?
Not the forks! Of course I'll help. But wait, I'm supposed to collect a whole lot of golden spatulas.
Golden spatulas, eh? SpongeBob, if you could get me back into the chum bucket, I'll give you a bucket full of golden spatulas. In your dreams.
You've got a deal.
Okay, so one of the things that I really loved about this game growing up as a kid is that you are exploring all of Bikini Bottom. You will be going to every single area that if you've seen any season of the show, you will see absolutely everything that this town has to offer, which again is one of the exciting things that I loved about this game is that you are literally exploring Bikini Bottom from top to bottom.
Hey, SpongeBob! I just dropped by to give you a bubble hand.
Bubble Buddy.
You see, you're going to need to learn some new bubble-blowing moves if you're going to journey to the 9th dimension and defeat the giant monkey man.
But all I need to do is figure out how to get rid of these robots.
Also fair.
Yeah, sorry. I've been in the soap bottle a little too long. Where were we?
Something about new bubble moves?
Right! Press this button, and you'll launch yourself straight up in the air with bubble power that defeats anything that is directly above you. Try it out!
So as Bubble Buddy just said, again, we are going to learn a couple new moves for SpongeBob throughout this game. Pretty much all we have available right now is the headbutt attack and then the stomp. But eventually we will learn some more moves and SpongeBob will become a lot more versatile. And we will encounter more of the tikis throughout the game. There's really not a whole bunch of variety here. You have your standard, you have ones that float, and you have some that if you touch them, in a few seconds, they will explode. If you ever played Crash Bandicoot, it's essentially the same thing like that. Now, one thing that I am going to do, this is probably not going to be a super long part 1 video just because there's a couple things that we can do before we get started into our first area. First things first, we're going to go ahead and talk to Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. Nice sock.
What sock?
The one you're standing on.
Oh, that one. It's lost.
Well, if that one's lost, where are your other socks?
Oh, they're more lost. A bunch of robots came through here and stole my whole sock collection. I could use some help getting them back.
Sure thing, Patrick. What are best friends for?
Okay, then. For every 10 socks you bring back to me, I'll give you a golden turkey baster.
You mean spatula?
Bless you.
Alright, so as Patrick just said and I just explained, every time we find 10 things of socks, Patrick will give us a golden spatula. Now, we do have another way of getting golden spatulas, and that's from Mr. Krabs.
SpongeBob, this flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship. No money means no more Krusty Krab. No more Krusty Krab means no more fry cooking for you.
No more fry cooking?
But because you're gullible, I'm gonna help you out. And of course make a small profit in return. I've got a few golden spatulas that I'll be willing to trade to you for some of those shiny objects. Your treasure chest's looking a bit light, boy.
Alright, so as Mr. Krabs also said, he will also give us golden spatulas, but we need to give him a certain number of shiny objects. To get his first golden spatula, you gotta give him 3,000 shiny objects. Normally, you will accumulate shiny objects the more you play through the game, but if you're ever just down a spatula to get to another level, you will more than likely have enough to give to Mr. Krabs so he can give you another spatula. But it's just a means of getting another one. Okay, now, before we go, we're going to do a couple more things. First, SpongeBob's health. As you know, SpongeBob has underwear as health. Now, throughout this game, SpongeBob can have a max total of 6 pairs of underwear. And in each main hub area, there is a golden piece of underwear that you can collect to give SpongeBob an extra health bar. Right, Pua? That's right. So, we're going to go ahead, and we're going to get that first thing of underwear for SpongeBob. So that way, as we start the game, we're already going to be at 4 health points. And to do that, we actually have to go all the way to the roof of SpongeBob's house. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Oh, okay. So the underwear was on Squidward's house. However, though, if we go to SpongeBob's house, oh, 2 golden spatulas, baby. So now look at that. We've got 4 health slots and 2 golden spatulas. Now, I believe we can actually get 2 more spatulas in this hub world. First, we're going to go see one of my favorite neighbors of all time. Would you like Squidward?
First, those stupid robots ruined a perfectly relaxing mud bath this morning, and now you show up. Can my day get any more dreary?
I am so sorry, Squidward. Patrick and I were just playing a game and...
Oh, I correct myself. I should have known that whole robot problem involved both of you.
Squidward, I don't know what to do. How can I fix everything?
Why don't you move to another town? That should help out more than enough. Move to another town. I cracked me up. But seriously, just jump around like an idiot. That should at least make me smile.
So literally, that's the thing. So what we need to do here is we need to destroy Squidward's house. We literally need to destroy absolutely everything. Because if we do, we'll get a sock.
Okay, just stop jumping, will you? If you take this golden spatula, will you please go away?
See, Squidward? I knew that you can help me out. You're the best.
Don't touch me.
By simply destroying Squidward's house and slightly vandalizing his house, we get another sock for Patrick.
Patrick needs to do laundry.
And our 3rd golden spatula. Alright. Pretty much done here. Now there's one more spot that we can visit before I decide to call it a wrap here. Is we're actually going to visit Patrick's house. Because Patrick, I believe he will give you a spatula. If not, he will definitely give you another sock. But essentially, you want to do the same thing.
That's the life.
You want to do the same thing that we did in Squidward's house, where basically just start destroying everything. First, get that shiny object.
Boy, Patrick will be glad.
Okay, so I guess it was just a sock. Now, each shiny object color will be essentially worth a different amount of numbers. I think the one that can give you like 50 shiny objects are the purple ones. Okay, so before we call it a wrap, I'm going to go ahead and explain something really quick. Is that, again, throughout this game, we are going to be exploring Bikini Bottom, which means we are going to many different levels and areas in each hub. So we are essentially in the first hub world, which contains SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick's house. Now, in this hub world, we can literally go to 3 levels. The first one is already open for us, and that's where we're going to be going next time, and that's Jellyfish Fields. Now, if we go over here, if we get 5 golden spatulas, we can go to downtown Bikini Bottom. And then, I think it's just 10. If we have 10 golden spatulas, then we can head over to Goo Lagoon. And then, once we have at least 15 golden spatulas, we will essentially go to a boss fight, which I won't say because I don't want to spoil it for people who have not ever played this game before. we will go to a boss fight, and then we will go to the second hub map. Altogether, we will have 3 hub maps, ranging from different levels. But in order to beat the game, get to the final boss, we will need 75 golden spatulas. I feel like, knowing me, we will probably have more than that going in, but we'll just see. I do plan in this playthrough, I will be going over I will be showing every single level, and I will at least be going to that level and at least completing it from start to finish. So starting from the beginning of the level all the way to the end level. I will be doing that. I'm not going to skip any level because, again, this game doesn't really ask for too much. But also, it's a classic from my childhood. I honestly could play this at any time. And I also have this on my Switch, so I have 2 copies of this game because this is how much I love it. So, before we call it a wrap here, because I think I'm going to kind of split this up between different sections, I'm going to give you guys a small preview of what we're going to be doing in the next part. Because we're going to Jellyfish Fields. So, let's get a little sneak peek, and then we'll go ahead and call it a wrap.
The rolling green hills of Jellyfish Fields, a place to experience nature at its most raw, and sometimes a bit tender from the stings.
Oh, Squidward, he just can't catch a break. Right, fool? High five. Ooh! Oh, Squidward, what happened?
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay, you barnacle head. Do I look like I'm okay?
Well, your nose does look pretty big. I mean, bigger than usual because it's usually pretty big. And you look clammy. And oh my gosh, you're bald!
It should be known that since this game was developed during SpongeBob's later seasons, anything that SpongeBob does as a meme has become a standstill animation. Hence the reaction you're seeing on the screen right now.
I've always been bald, but now I'm stung all over.
Well, according to the Jellyfisher Field Manual, severe jellyfish stings can be treated effectively by applying a thick layer of king jellyfish jelly to the affected areas. King jellyfish?
Well, I guess you're off to scale Sport Mountain and die a horrible death under the vicious tentacles of King Jellyfish. I'll stay here, balled up here in excruciating pain.
You do that! Don't worry, Squidward. I'll bring back that King Jellyfish jelly for you to rub all over yourself.
TMI? Okay, folks. So, that is our first introduction to Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I am very excited to be able to jump back into this. I love this game so much. It is one of my favorite childhood memory games. Very fun to play, but also I know we're just going to have a lot of fun shenanigans happen during this Let's Play. And I hope I'm here. I hope that I can entertain you guys, because that's why I'm here. Right, Pua? What he said. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a wrap here. This video is going to be not as long, but I basically just wanted to go over introductions of this game. And then when we come back, I'm going to try to dedicate... guess I lost Wi-Fi. Not that it matters, because this game doesn't require Wi-Fi. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and jump into Jellyfish Fields. And we're pretty much going to go from there. So, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night. Who also says goodbye. And take care, guys. And I will see you for part 2 of Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Thanks for watching.